Hi there, welcome to No Nonsense Whiskey. My name's Vin PF, and on today's episode we've got something quite special, I think. This is an Ardnamurchan 8-year-old, and it's been bottled by CaskShare.com, which I'll go through in just a moment. But I think that's pretty cool because looking on Whiskey Base, I believe if you rank them in order of known age, there's only been 1 or 2 bottlings that are higher in age for Ardnamurchan than this, which is pretty cool. That obviously commands a reasonable price as well. This is selling for £95, but we'll get into the kind of value for that a little bit later on. Now, CaskShare, if you haven't heard of them before, are a website that have been around since 2016. They started as Craft Whiskey Club, which is a worldwide club now, where you can get a bottle of whiskey every 2 months for X amount of money. CaskShare came out of that in 2021, and the idea behind CaskShare is that you can pre-purchase shares, or essentially bottles of whiskey of maturing liquid. So if you go on their website, there's a link below where you can go and check out all of the things that they've got available right now, so stuff that's been bottled already, but stuff that's maturing and stuff that's bottling soon. So you can see all of this information. Is pretty cool. So like for example, if you like Ardnamurchan, who doesn't, then they actually have another sister cask to this. So this one here is 707p. They've got a 708p, which is obviously filled directly after this one, and that's intended to be released in 2025. So it'll be a 10-year-old Ardnamurchan, and at the moment that's going for something like 75-80 quid. That needs to be adjusted for tax and stuff later on down the line, but there are no like hidden costs related to that, apart from maybe shipping, which again is worked out at the end, so you get invoiced for that at the end. So yeah, any adjustments for tax that might change with the government, that all gets adjusted at the end, but they do like the whole payment up front now is how much the tax etc would be if it was bottled right now. So yeah, it's an interesting concept. So you can go and check out loads of stuff on their website about what they've got. Today, as a bit of a showcase for that, we've got this bottling here. This is part of they call it the Collective series. So you can see here, it's the Collective series. All of the bottles look the same. They've got these amazing artworks. These are all individual to the bottles themselves. This one is by a guy called Mike Shipley. Yeah, and it's all pretty interesting stuff. I like that, like the individuality of it all. But they've got the same sort of livery on here. You can see if my light fades out a little bit. It's got a very bright light going today. But yeah, we've got an Ardnamurchan 8-year-old, 57.7%. Bottled in 2023 October, filled in 2015. It's an ex-bourbon cask, and of course single cask. All very interesting stuff. So I think probably best to do is get onto the actual whiskey itself and see what we've got in the glass. It's a nice. I wouldn't say it's like overly deep in colour, but that's fine by me. It's ex-bourbon, so I'm going to take a punt and say this is probably I want to say a refill, but so I don't think it's I don't think it's a first fill. So probably a second fill, I would guess, but that's no problem to me. And this is of course a peated. I imagine the 707p means the peated, so this is peated. Peated Ardnamurchan is fabulous. So yeah, let's get onto the nose and see what we've got with this. Now the thing that struck me the most about this the first time I smelled it was just how little peat I get off the nose, which is great for a great, like, it's just really fruity. Really, like, it's really sweet actually. It's got a lot of vanillas, lots of honeys, a nice waft of like that sea air brininess, and there's a kind of a whiff of smoke at the back end with a little bit of bonfire wood. Really nice, you know. I mean, maybe it's because I love my peat, but someone who isn't so into their peat might be kind of like blown out by this. But for me, as a peat enthusiast, this has got a kind of lovely, well-rounded, sweet peat smokiness nose going on. Let's check out the palate. Now, oh, it's good. One of the things that happens with kind of reasonably peated whiskies, generally speaking, from my experience, is that you do get like half a second at the start of your kind of palate journey to pick out some interesting notes, and then this whole massive like peat ABV smack comes wafting over and overtakes everything. Now that doesn't happen with this. Now this has been sat out in the glass for about 20 minutes as, you know, good practice, and you get a good, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds. Well, I know it doesn't sound like a lot of time, but it really is in terms of that kind of cask strength peated whiskey vibe. You get about a good 3 or 4 seconds to vibe with the sweet caramels, the honeys, before I wouldn't even say a big peat hit. It's a nice, gentle, peaty waft coming across. It's barbecue smoke rather than kind of like thick like literally, like saying like a barbecue on your backyard, but rather than a bonfire smoke, you know, sometimes that can be a bit overbearing, a bit too tannic. More brininess coming through. Let's have another quick sip. Now, interestingly, I mean, for me, again, I'm a big fan of cask strength whiskey. The high ABV on this, 57.7%, that doesn't smack me in the face either. It's just nicely mingling in the background. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know it's happening. There's definitely a big ABV jump from a lower ABV style, but it doesn't smack me in the face like some high ABVs tend to do. And I think that must just be the 8 years of this thing, you know, really doing its job. The finish is long and peppery. At the back end of it, you get a kind of like a tannic smokiness coming out of it. So this is like when your bonfire's almost dying and giving out those last few bits of smoke. It's I mean, it's a tidy dram. You know, I love Ardnamurchan. I should buy more of their bottles, really. But this is absolutely fantastic stuff. It's really tasty. It commands a £95 price point at the moment, which is a lot of money. I'm not going to lie, it's a lot of money. But I think, considering everything that we're talking about today, it's one of the highest aged available Ardnamurchans that I've seen. You might be able to prove me wrong on that, but I think I've seen a 9-year-old out there somewhere. Not sure about how much that was being sold for. But yeah, really today, I'm talking about this bottle, but really I want to talk about CaskShare in general, because, you know, they've got that 10-year-old already there, which is a little bit cheaper than this right now. So you can jump on that if you want to wait 2 years for your whiskey, or a year and a bit. And they've got loads of stuff on. I mean, if you've got big pockets, they've got like a £3.5 Macallan, but you know, I'm not going to be buying that. But they've got loads of stuff on there right now that you can go and check out and see what they've got. And then if it suits you, it suits you. It's just like a lot of these. There's a couple of these CaskShare style websites out there at the moment, and really the overarching thing is if you like the sound of a distillery and you like the sound of the cask type that it's in, you can usually get yourself a decent bargain if you're willing to wait a couple of years, is the fact of it. So yeah, they're a new one to me, but I'm interested in them now, so I'm going to be scouting the website and seeing what I can get hold of. But yeah, as a final thought, a massive thank you to them for sending this over to me. I've also got another one of theirs to cover in a couple of weeks' time. So yeah, let me know if you've tried CaskShare before. I've heard good things about them on my Discord channel. People seem to like what they're doing, and based on this and this one alone, I like what they're doing as well. But yeah, let me know if you've tried some of theirs, and let me know if you're going to be checking them out. Cheers, I'll see you again on more videos coming soon.